as a matter of habit. So going into this game, I wasn't too hyped about it because Viaduct is historically Banker's worst map, and we get like 3 minutes to ode, whatever you call it, like 3 ode, 3 minutes, 2 O's. But this team doesn't play it very well, and we start getting on top of the sniper really well. And we don't end up winning the map, but we play much better than we generally do. Okay, so that was a shitty death to start it off, but we're rushing across point really well. Russ is in a really good spot. We get there heavy. The sniper picks me, but we can call him that he's on cliff, and we have this mid fight basically. It was really messy, and we lost our med, but at least we have it, you know, which is a good start to it. And like, this was one situation in which our I never call Viaduct well. I get far too pissy and just expect people to know what I mean when I don't even say it. But in this case, I think we're staying on top of everything pretty well most of the time, and they weren't playing Viaduct very well either, to be fair. They gave us a lot of space and were caught out of position sometimes. But considering they had their Prem Sniper Merc, that's what I'm told, by the way. I just assume someone's going to deal with that spy. Considering they had their Sniper Merc, I think we did pretty well. Especially with us staying on top of him, even though their positioning wasn't great and they gave us a lot of space. I think we dealt with it okay, especially considering it's Viaduct, which is not our map. That's my big spiel about Viaduct against this team. So generally, what I'm calling against this team for holding, because we don't really have any strats for where we hold on point. I think I just stole some ammo from Sin. Different people. Whenever we're holding around point, wherever their sniper will be, I call for us to rotate to that side. Like if he's on cliff, then we should play on the left side of point. I don't know if it works as well on the right side, because he can just get to main. Oh, we lose a few players here. Oh, we've lost a lot of players here. We should be ready to give this up. Yeah, I don't know how well it works being on the right side if their sniper's also on right. This is a dodgy trade. And they pop finally. Yeah, I commit because we go for an Uber, and you have to commit when you go for Ubers, otherwise they'll not work most of the time. So I get stuck in that shitty situation. But I think it was shitty because we lost a lot of classes, and because of cost defense respawn times. And we got so much time on the point anyway. Honestly, when we were holding that, and this is something that I think we should probably work on generally, when we were holding that in that instance, we should have just spammed them out enough that they popped to get in, and got out with our medic, because we lost so many classes anyway. And then we would have had Uber advantage to get back in. The sentry turns out to be really annoying though. Oh, I think I'm watching the second half actually. Yeah, this is the second and last half. I'll watch the first half in a second. We're playing more messy, I think, in the second half than we do in the first, but I'll watch it all eventually anyway. Yeah, in that... Ooh. Viaduct. In that instance, I think we should have just given it up, and we should, in my opinion at least, we should be pretty easy to give the point up on Viaduct, because otherwise what happens is we die. And then we lose the point anyway, but we also lose our players. And I have like a gut instinct sometimes that I feel like we should probably give this up, but I don't have like solid evidence to say so. And then usually after I feel that and don't say anything about it, we go and die. Like, we die behind the point and lose it anyway. But we only have 4 seconds left right now, so we should be okay once we get another Uber up. They give us a lot of space on point, you know. Hope we have some players on the right, because if I'm pushing Valley, then we can't let them collapse on me, but their scout has the space on right, and I'm stuck back here without any health. And I think... fucking popcorn blocking the... Okay. Yeah. This is the thing, their flank has the space on concrete. I'm gonna die. Yep. Their flank has the space on concrete, and that wasn't called, so when I got in behind the point, I just got collapsed on because we didn't have the space, which I didn't really know about, and there was no, like, I wasn't being followed up on up valley, which is probably mostly my fault, but also they did a good job of keeping concrete, and if we don't have concrete and we don't have the point and we're pushing up valley, we really need to know, because we're gonna get, oh look what happens here, we get wrapped around and, oh no, that's later, but often what happens is that if we're behind the point and trying to fight people who are on point and we don't have concrete, they're just gonna wrap around and pincer us and just kill us. If we have concrete, then we can basically do that to them if they're on the point or behind the rock. I think we end up winning anyway, but it's closer than it has to be. I think I'm getting kind of tired and riled up by this point though, generally. Really laggy rollout for some reason. I noticed their demo usually rotates to the left after the mid-fight, or after the first few stickies, so I can get a little bit of damage on him pretty quick. Okay, this is where I called that we should move up across point. We've lost a few players, but we have good space. Ras is in a really good spot, but this NG is being just a dick with a level 1 and the rescue ranger. We generally don't have a plan for focusing sentries, and we don't call the sniper, which is really shitty. That's on the to-do list, I guess, for the team, is make a better plan for focusing sentries generally, and just the fact that their sniper is good is something that's fucking us at the minute. As Gippy says in the chat. Our sniper was in front of me at that point, and still I take the headshot. That was ridiculous. No one wants to cross this right now. Yeah, it was in this second half that for some reason they suddenly got a much better like grasp of putting the flank forward and collapsing on us and getting the space on us and giving space to their sniper so we couldn't stay on him. Let's go, so. I think they have crit. No, they have regular. Kinda shitty that I die there. Kind of disorganized that we get into that situation anyway. But we keep the Uber. I mean, the important thing is that our med survives with Uber, and we can go in for another fight. The sniper's watching, and we're not keeping track of him, so we have no other choice right here. Better get the med. I'm thinking with the sniper right now, and did he die? We might have. That was not a bad push, but it was a bit of a leapfrog. But we got the med, come to think of it, so it should be okay. We gave this scout far too much room though. My stickies are getting better towards the end of this game than they were on Upward. I guess that's just warming up, since I hadn't played any TF2 before playing Upward. We're doing okay here. If they're on cliff, then it's pretty good to be here. I can spam them out pretty well. And I think people are generally in places where I can help. I let them I give them far too much free space here. Their mid's so low, and yeah, we lose 4 players into an Uber. This should just be getting out, otherwise we're gonna die. That was annoying. Yeah, I gave them too much space to drop down and distract for the spy, and then we lost a bunch of players at the same time and committed too much to an Uber with too few players. Which I think is something on Viaduct that can really kill you. If, like, has to be, you have to know when to give them the point. Oh, and I get really excited about their medic and I whiff it. Ooh, I think I get their demo, and they have a bad Uber. I want to. No, this is where I'm like, okay, I'll come to you, Kippy, and Kippy at the same time says, okay, I'll rotate to you guys. So I jump towards him and then shout at him that I'm behind him for a few seconds. I think that was me tabbing out. Apparently I didn't hit that sentry, but Higgs gets it. Okay, I think we got the space on concrete, which is basically why we get this point. Yeah, if this is the thing that I've kind of realized about demo on this map is that, and probably one of the reasons why we never did well on it before, is that if we don't have space on concrete, then I can't put pressure on to the point or behind point, because people will be in much better positions to kill me, as well as just, you know, general bad DM on my part. If people are on concrete and I'm behind the point, then we're pretty much dead anyway. Questionable decision right here for me to chase the med, but it does get their med. How many players do we have up? We've only lost 2, so we should be able to... And we know where the sniper is. We've lost 2 more. We will have to give them this. We lose Higgs and Raven to their spy. Did we pop an Uber there as well? Yeah. We popped an Uber in a bad situation again. And so, like, the med pick that we got doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, it's the thing, like, when you don't have when you have the point and you lose a few players, sometimes it's just better to give them the point even if you have an Uber, because otherwise, like, you'll pop your Uber and they get the point. And now, I don't know, this is about, like, concrete and banana again, that, oh, that demo is so fucking low. There we go. So they can collapse on us. They have the space on the height advantages around us. So even though we have an Uber, which they do not, and we get good space and good picks, they can collapse back in on us again. At least that's why I think that fight didn't work, when by all right it should have. On the plus side, watching these demos in this order, it'll steadily get easier. We lose quite a lot of players on this mid fight, so we don't get the chance to rush across point, but they're still playing behind there. I don't know who Ills is, but okay, we say to just, I think, just go across the point, try and get their medic. I don't do any damage in the end because the soldier comes up, but I think we do get their mid, and we do get this mid fight. So it worked out anyway, even though it was like a high casualty fight. The fact that this NG is on the point like this already tells me that we should probably be out of here. Let's look at this. They have the space on concrete, they have the space on point, they have the space on our cliff. That was a really good flare by Sin. And in that situation, we seem to have enough players and everything. We seem to have... I don't think we had Nubra at that point, but they had so much space around us that even though they didn't have that many picks, we should have just got out anyway, because we needed to regroup to focus down particular areas, which we couldn't do when we were basically in the center of their entire team, in a circle around us. Just trying to put a stick onto the sniper. Oh yeah, it's crits. I failed as crits completely. I think the thing that happens with crits is where I get crits and we run up and I die. Okay, there's a sniper watching. The scout rushes us. And yeah. I should have called to go through main for that one. I think something would have happened with the crits if we went through main. But here comes their crits, which kills all of our players. Okay, oh, literally, like, all of our players, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is me trying to go in for their med as well. Oh, it works! I can't bookmark from demo. Okay, that was about 60,000. I'm gonna write that down, so I know what to bookmark for the frag video. Oh, it's already bookmarked! Excellent! I'm gonna make a frag video after this season. Need to put the things where I get kills in, because it doesn't happen very often. Okay, me and Resta jumped in, and that kind of equalized it for us. We got some good picks, which is good. But what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, if we took that crits from main, then I would have been actually able to do something from it, because the sniper and everything wouldn't have been watching me. So that was a bad call on my part. But I don't think it was a bad idea to commit, even though they had crits, because our respawn times are faster, and we might as well try to focus down their players, and then we respawn faster anyway. So even though, which actually did end up happening, even though in this fight we seem to be failing. I think committing, even though they had crits, like coming back and building our own crits again, would have been just as shit. So I think 7 people dying to their crits was just as good a situation as getting out, because we didn't have the point. Because I think it's probably really important whether the team is on board at the same time about how much we want to commit to a fight or not, because that seems to be a big part of why we don't generally do well on Viaduct, is that half of us are in and half of us are out. Like, we don't know who wants to commit to certain amounts. Oh, we pop here to get their med, and then Rust picks their med anyway. But it's, I mean, it's okay. It means we don't have an Uber in reserve, but they don't have an advantage still. And we're in a good... No. It was a good pick by this guy. I was about to say we're in a good situation, but we can't give up a point. I should be using stickies. There we go. When they're across that rock, should be easy enough to spam them out. I need heals right here, but if I move, I'm afraid to die. I think Sin saved my life with a few reflex there. We're back on quick fix, which is probably the right plan, and they have the space behind the point. They probably have space to the right of me, but I need to do that damage, and I die because they do have that space to the right of me. I don't know if flank just respawned at that point or anything, but that was basically... I know I'm talking about concrete a lot, and I'm just sounding pissy about it, but Viaduct is a pissy fucking map. 2015, 09, 09. Should be a 2043, 2023. I think it's that one. Yeah, okay, this is the first 2 rounds. I think that is the reason for a lot of my deaths, and because this is my POV, I think about my deaths a lot. So these rounds happen before the ones you've just witnessed. And this, like, we don't know at this point that in these mid-fights they give us so much space. Look at this, it's all free. Like, they stopped doing this in the later rounds, they stopped playing this so badly, but we have so much space to get across like that. Rasta gets across on the right, which is really good. I get picked off, but it happens. And I come in across the point, everyone collapses really well on that mid-fight. Well, not really well. I mean, pretty well. But now this is kind of shitty, staying behind the point like this, because they can get in and collapse onto us again. Once we get these respawns, we really need to get forward again. I feel like this is the first scrim we've played where we get a bit of a groove on Viaduct, because we feel really baseless, at least to me, and like no idea what we're doing a lot of the time playing Viaduct otherwise. This was one of the first scrims with bankers where I felt like, okay, we're getting these things down, we're going to do these things, which makes it much clearer for watching these POVs what goes wrong with certain holds, like which parts of the map we lose and whatever. And a lot of, unlike Upward, I think a lot of Viaduct stuff was just like more fundamental mistakes in how we were playing. Oh, that was a crits, but we collapsed on it pretty well. I walk into a soldier. Give up the sandwich. I feel like Viaduct was more fundamental mistakes about how we were playing than just shitty things that happened a lot of the time, which makes it much more useful for us to look at it like this and actually learn from it than Upward was. Even though we were kind of playing worse or playing in a more wrong way, it's still more useful, I think, games like this. Yeah, Sniper's watching, so we should play from the right side. I'm slow in realizing that. I think generally on this map, though, what our team is settling into doing, and yeah, their sniper hasn't moved. I don't know why I didn't call for us to move, but I was. Oh, we bait the crits out, nice. Generally, what we are settling into doing on this map is just putting our combo on the left side of the entire map and our flank on the right side of the entire map. And while we do need to change that sometimes, kind of works as a default, or at least it appears to be working. Okay, that was a stupid thing. That was just a thing that happened because Team Fortress 2 is a terrible game. I'm not going to claim responsibility for being killed by that sniper in that instance. It's one of those things. I guess that's pretty much how Kippy felt for this entire game. It was just like, oh well, I'm fucking dead because this game sucks. Which I would not blame him for. Oh, I hate those sentries. I was really surprised that I killed it there, because it's usually really annoying to take them out. They crits here, but they crits on a soldier from a really weird spot, so I think we get some good damage out. My game keeps tapping out. But they do get a lot of kills. Yeah, if we'd have collapsed onto their medic slightly more... What do you mean their medic didn't die? I did like 164 damage! That was bullshit. Yeah, we either should have come in with that Uber sooner again, uh, or got out entirely, probably. I don't know, it kind of worked out though, which is so-so. Definitely, if we were going in like that, we should have come in slightly earlier, so they didn't cap the point, but we ended up getting quicker respawns for it, so I guess it worked out fine. I won't lose sleep over it. I dealt those sticks a little bit too early. Well, this is the first time we play, because this is the first round of Viaduct we played this scrim. That was one of the times where I think we're holding this and we should probably leave, and everyone else says no, it's fine, and then my premonitions end up being correct, that they push in and kill a bunch of us. But we repush because respawns are better and everything if you don't have the point. So it worked out okay anyway. But in my opinion, we shouldn't have let them kill us all on the way out of having the point in the first place. I'm using too many grenades compared to stickies, I think, at the very start. Because they don't really do much unless you put them in a good spot, and I'm not putting them in the good spot. They get more aggressive this time, but their demo man's at the front, and we should be able to punish that more than we are. Oh, collateral! Didn't notice that at the time. This is what I really like, even though they get the point, just a few seconds ago, like, I was at a good angle to do damage while other people were distracting them. We don't do that enough generally as a team, but like, I'm too far at the front a lot of the time, so I get focused down, but they technically cap it and then we get a quick repush. Again, that's fine. I'm much less judgmental about this half, apparently. Yeah, so we're not really far forward enough for a good hold right now. I think we should have more people on the point, and especially to the right, because they need a lot of space on it now. Like, they've just come in through main for free. And we're holding behind the rock, so our medic dies. I'm not a fan of just staying behind the rock on these kind of holds. I think it's shitty. I'll be more forthwith about fuck this game. I'll be more forthwith about what I think we should do in certain situations. We're kind of dying one by one right here. It's not good. We got that sniper. Yeah, I'll be more forceful in my calling without being more angry. Popcorn was doing a lot these rounds, and this game generally. She couldn't speak for this map, but she was doing so much work. Can we make them pop something here? I say I'm committed, and I'm going to die, which I am, but we get their medic for it. So it's all worth it. When I was for season 14 UGC, when I was trying to get some mentoring for our terrible Viaduct gameplay, basically what Emilio Estevez said was, I mean, he said a lot of things and a lot about the spawn types and timers and stuff, but the outworking of it was basically, don't die when you're on defense, keep taking team fights when you're on offense, because eventually you'll run down that respawn timer, and fucking minis. Eventually you'll run down that respawn timer, and your better spawns, when you don't have the point, will win you those team fights, even if you're taking equal trades. So unless the other team's DM, and team DM is so much massively better than yours, you should be able to do okay anyway, if you just take those team fights when you don't have it. And equally, don't bleed players, don't die, and you don't have the point, because the other team are going to spawn quicker than you. And just like that one principle, rather than playing around the Ubers as much, I think is basically what we have to drill into ourselves for playing Viaduct, and then putting which people where is just like the icing on the cake. Everyone probably knew that, but I just like the sound of my own voice. Oh, hey, Rude. You possibly did top frags in. I don't think we ended up getting logs, because this wasn't a serve me server. Disconnected with the combo, how? Like, I guess we could have been a lot more aggressive, but on when we didn't have the point, or had the point, or both.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Not the best. We go for a forward hold here on Cliff, and I don't really know how to play forward holds, and they always end up in at least a couple of... Oh, that was a good sandwich. They always end up in at least a couple of people dying. From our combo. So we need to, if we're doing those, learn to do them better. Oh, logs! You did top frag apart from the sniper. No, I'll not get distracted by logs until we finish these rounds. Yeah, we do need to act faster when we're pushing. But oh shit, that was the second one. Okay, I can look at the logs now. Yeah, I think it's just because we don't plan ahead so much with our pushes that it's kind of whatever presents itself to us, we're gonna end up doing. 3 rounds? Yeah, okay. I wonder if I can put logs on stream. Do I have that facility? Nope, apparently my Firefox tab doesn't work. Refresh? No, 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 no. This $$ versus 123. Do the entire window. Come on. Nope, that's not. That's still not Firefox. That is Team Fortress 2. Hold on, bear with me, folks, while I get some logs working. Screen capture or monitor on OBS. Good idea. What's wrong with my monitor capture? Need to fix this. So, yes. Arrow is enabled. What is that? Help. I'm a great streamer. Monitor capture. I'm on the properties. Assume this won't do, right? This isn't like a good thing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this was the first one. Yeah, he did almost top frag for that one, and then that's the same one. And then for that, wait, is the third one different? Oh, that was upward, yeah. Okay, I'll go with the first fire one first. The sniper top damaging is pretty normal. Most of their team is better KD than us. Yeah, we do die at the wrong times. I think it's just a general, like, we stay in at the wrong times when we want to hold thing. I'm more interested in this, in, like, acting faster to push and stuff. What's up with that? Like, I don't really know how to deal with that. Like, maybe I need to call earlier what kind of fights we're taking or what we want to do with them so we can do it quicker. But or just being passive generally. I'm gonna get the thing. There we go. A kind of, yeah, like a player advantage or Uber advantages or stuff. Because I don't think Ubers and stuff played into the game that much. Like, we weren't keeping track of Uber advantage or disadvantage generally, I don't think. I'm not sure about player advantages or whatever. Just because I don't. I didn't want to go for a more forward hold than what we were doing on defense, at least, because I didn't want to stretch ourselves too thin and end up dying, which wouldn't end up too good for us. Like, that would require a bit more teamwork than we have right now. Mostly from bad positioning on their part. Yeah, they did have they did have pretty bad positioning, to be fair. But considering how we usually play Viaduct, I think we were capitalizing on it as much as we could, considering that basically the team's only just now getting how to play Viaduct down. And I would like to push those kind of advantages quicker. But that does have to come with time for, like, and a few scrims of collapsing on them in the right way, I guess. Yeah, it's just knowing what kind of thing we can push, and, like, I think both teams were pretty passive in the mid fights generally, but we started to try to capitalize on it a little bit. Don't think we did it enough, but we did it more than we have in the past, which is like at least the right direction. And like playing against a team with pretty bad positioning at least has been useful for this scrim to learn, like, what we still need to do about Viaduct. And from that we can either, if we play against a team with positioning like theirs again, capitalize on it more, or at least try to hold our own against a team that positions themselves better and capitalizes more on times when we're caught with bad positioning. So yeah, we are a bit slow, basically, but that's just, I mean, it's a wonder that we can even take a round on Viaduct at this point, considering our luck on it on the past. But it's getting better, I think. It's mostly getting better. You get annoyed. I get annoyed playing Viaduct pretty easily. Yeah, when they're like holding behind the point or they come in from main, I would like to be able to do more damage and get in on them harder. But I don't think in that game, at least, I would have been able to do that and still survive, considering that I don't think I would be supported doing that, and I don't think I would have made the right calls to support me doing that. Maybe try to force them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I don't call that. It's in my head. It's one of those things that's like implicit in my head, but I don't say it to the team. Is that when they have Uber advantage, that we can, like when we go in for a team fight and they have Uber and we don't, we're just trying to keep our meds in a safe place so that when we force the Uber, he can get out anyway. And we pick off a few of their players at the same time. I probably need to like explicitly say that more, but that's what's in my head, at least, when we're going for those kind of team fights and we're down on Uber. But I probably have to call like specifically to go to them for their med in those kind of situations more, and to play around our own medic and keep them alive, so that we can get out and not lose those kind of advantages, I guess. But part of that is just me trying to play up the right. What am I saying? I got distracted and lost track. Part of that is me trying to say things that are not obvious but still useful, which is not always the easiest for me, at least. Just because it's a matter of knowing at what level our team is on the same page, and sometimes I got distracted there because I thought Kippy must have kills in this area. Just getting to know where our team is on the same page or not. So when those specific calls need to be made for when we're trying to force them, versus when we're just trying to get a few picks, where we're going for the team fights, and when we want to stay alive versus it being fine to go in and die. How much to like go in and support me when I'm trying to do damage, how much to hang back. Like I don't feel that I call that stuff enough, or at least at the right times. But it is just going to come with practice and scrims and demo reviews like this and stuff, and just talking and trying to call those kind of things. I've done a lot of talking. I've been reviewing demos for an hour and a half now, when I'm not checking the washing machine, that is. I'm curious. Yeah, Popcorn got the most sniper picks on their team, then Popcorp, presumably when they were playing Spy. Apparently Popcorp played Sniper for a bit as well. Oh yeah. I got a sweet 1 sniper pick that game. Oh, and Rasta with the big 6 medic picks, of course. We didn't play crits that much that game either. It's probably because of the legacy of me and crits is not that great. Yeah, okay, I'm probably going to leave it there. That was pretty useful. Okay, I will see